was talking to a young man recently about the seminary and the priesthood and things like that, and he asked me a question. He said, "How long have you been a priest?" I said, "Well, 38 years now, I guess, something like that." He said, what was the favorite time for you of being a priest?" I said, "Oh, I don't know. I kind of liked it all, really, but..." "No," he said, was there a time in it when it was more?" I said, "Well, it could be the first 5 years in my first assignment as an associate pastor. Or it's kind of a toss-up for me because I spent 6 years at a high school." And I said, "I kind of liked both of those." And he kind of looked real serious at me, and he goes, I thought you'd say the time that you've been pastor here." I said, "Well, you said favorite time. I kind of thought you meant like fun time." I said, "If you go on to become a priest someday, you'll find out that associates have a lot more fun than pastors do. And you'll find out the bigger it is, the harder it is, you know." So, yeah, I like it, but you were talking about favorite. I reflected on that afterwards, and I kind of thought to myself, you know, it was more fun being a kid than a parent, huh? And they grow up, and, you know, they leave, and then they come back. And then many of you as grandparents are parenting your kids, your grandkids even, today. It's more fun being a kid than it is an adult. And remember how we couldn't wait? How we couldn't wait to become that adult, you know? "Well, wait till I'm an adult, by golly. I'm going to do better than my mom and dad did." Famous last words. I couldn't wait to be a pastor, and then I became one. Changes. You know what changes? The responsibility, the shepherding. Changes, doesn't it? According to our age, according to our state in life, it takes on new responsibility, new ways of shepherding. Those of you who have already raised your teenagers know what I mean. Even the shepherding of our children changes as they age. And it takes on new problems, new looks. I don't know. It does. It's the same in all of our lives, I think. Jesus tells us today in the gospel that he is the good shepherd. He doesn't say, "I want to be the good shepherd." And he doesn't say, "I wish you would let me be a good shepherd for you." Or he doesn't say, "You know, this image of shepherd and sheep is a great one for you and for me. And he doesn't even say, you want to be shepherd or you want to be sheep? In no way, shape, or form does he say this is optional. He says, I am, which probably is a great play on the Hebrew, I am Yah of Yahweh. Probably is a big play on that. I am. God is a good shepherd. Not just a shepherd, a good shepherd. I am the good shepherd. And why is that so important for us? And I think it is important for us in this time when we've celebrated Easter in particular. When we've celebrated the dying and the rising, it comes as such a beautiful reminder to us of the nature of our relationship with God. Creator, creature, shepherd, sheep, vine, branches. That's next week. Tells us the nature of our relationship. And you know what? When we live in harmony with that, when we live in a right-ordered relationship like that, we know more happiness than we know at any other time in our lives. And when we screw that up, when we pretend that we're the shepherd, you know, I can do this on my own steam. Yeah, well, we'll see how long your steam lasts, you know? I can do this without him. A lot of what Jesus talks about when he defines shepherd, sheep, our relationship, is his leadership of us and how he means to lead our lives. What does a good shepherd do? Good shepherd provides. Probably the first thing, provides for the sheep. Has the care of the sheep at the center of his own life and heart. I think he said it, a good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. That's how far he's willing to go. A good shepherd gives everything for the sake of the other. And who more perfectly images that to us than our Savior, our risen, our dying and rising Christ? Who else does that in that way, as perfectly as he does it? He provides everything we need for a fuller life, for more abundant life, for life. He provides what is needed. A good shepherd protects. A good shepherd protects us. Protects us from what? Well, from the evil one. Does that mean everything in my life is going to go well? No. No, it doesn't. It never has. Well, if I'm prosperous, it means no, it doesn't. If I have perfect health, it means no. It means that he remains with us, that he watches over us, that he cares for us, that whether I am, as St. Ignatius would say, we shouldn't pray for either health or illness. just for God's will at a particular time in our lives. Because either way, the Good Shepherd remains watching over, protecting me, strengthening me. And that strengthening comes differently when I'm elderly and maybe facing the end of life more, or whether I'm at the beginning of it at the other end. Protects and stays with, remains with, watches over, keeps the wolf away, the evil one away. A good shepherd guides, teaches. Boy, that sure is Jesus. Teaches us, guides us. We sheep have many problems. One of them is we wander all the time, you know? We get our noses down in that grass of earth called life, and we just kind of like go along, and if we're not careful, pretty soon we put our head up and everybody else is gone, and we're the only ones. We're lost. But our shepherd comes and finds us, puts us on his shoulders and brings us home, even when we're lost. He's a real leader. He guides, and he guides in truthful ways. He guides with ways that are life-giving to us, helping us to know how we are in the order of all of creation. That's what our shepherd does for us. Jesus is our shepherd. I am the good shepherd. The challenge for us is to be sheep. And don't go with all that dumb stuff about sheep when I say that, because that's not the image he has. He has an image of us as docile, teachable. We can learn. We can learn his voice. We can hear his voice calling out to us through the scriptures and in other ways. We can hear him leading us out to the pasture of his table, where he feeds and nourishes us with good food that will sustain us in our journey. We can trust him that he'll tell us and teach us truth and lead us out of the bonds, the things that keep us from that truth and from him and from his Father. Oh, what a great image for us. I am the good shepherd. It's already been done. I just have to learn, and you just have to learn to accept him as that shepherd of your heart.